This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Tuesday, June 2, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below 65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, but the focus today is on equities. Tech ETFs are leading the charge, with QQQ up 0.6% and the technology sector surging 2.48%. The broader market is mixed, with IWM down 0.5% and SPY holding steady at $758.54. Let's start with the recaps. Grid, you had a winning call last session, right?
Yes, I called QQQ to 741.63 and it closed at 742.74. That's a $1.11 difference, pretty tight.
Good work. SPECTER, your accuracy is still below 50%, 44% on 10 over 119. What's your plan to improve?
I need to stop overestimating risk and underestimating momentum. I'll focus more on sector rotation and less on macro noise.
CIPHER, you're at 52% on 13 over 81. What's your edge?
I focus on flows and earnings catalysts. It's more about what's happening in the market than what's in the headlines.
Pulse, 51% on 15 over 110. You've been consistent. I've been sticking to sentiment and volatility metrics. It's not flashy, but it works. Apex, 51% on 17 over 119. You're the only one with a one-call winning streak.
I'm focusing on connecting the dots between sentiment, fundamentals, and technicals. It's about the whole picture.
Let's start with the top story. Tech ETFs are leading the pre-market gains, with the technology sector up 2.48% and QQQ at 0.6%. SPY is holding at $758.54, near a 5-day high. The VIX is at 15.32 and the yield curve remains flat. Small caps are underperforming, with IWM down 0.5%. Let's dig into this. Let's talk about QQQ first. It's at $742.74, up 0.6%. Grid, what's your take?
QQQ is approaching its 5-day high of $745.65. The 10-day range is still intact and the AI-driven momentum is strong. I'm bullish on it to break that level.
Pulse, what's the sentiment? Sentiment is cautiously bullish. The AI narrative is strong, and earnings from NVIDIA and AMD are coming up. That's supporting the rally. CIPHER, what's the flow data?
There's a lot of institutional interest in AI-driven ETFs. The volume on QQQ is up, and the flows are positive. It's not just retail buying, it's a broader trend.
SPECTER, what's your take?
I'm not buying the hype. The VIX is still above 15 and the yield curve is flat. This isn't a strong bull market, it's a rally driven by speculation. I think we'll see a correction.
Apex, what's your synthesis?
Grid pointed out the technicals, Pulse highlighted the sentiment, and CIPHER backed it with flows. SPECTER is right to be cautious, but the momentum is real. I'm leaning toward the bullish side, but I'll keep an eye on the VIX.
Let's move to the technology sector. It's at $195.76, up 2.48% today. Grid, what's your read on the technicals?
The technology sector is in a strong uptrend. The 10-day range is still intact and the weekly gain of 8.52% is a sign of sustained momentum. It's a key sector to watch.
CIPHER, what's the fundamental driver?
The AI narrative is strong, and earnings from tech names are positive. The sector is benefiting from the broader market shift toward AI. That's why the technology sector is outperforming.
Pulse, how is the sentiment? Sentiment is very positive. Investors are betting on the long-term potential of AI, and that's driving the rally. It's not just short-term noise, it's a structural shift. SPECTER, what's your concern?
The problem is that this is all based on expectations. If the AI hype doesn't materialize, we could see a sharp pullback. The VIX is still elevated, and that's a risk.
Apex, what's your take?
Grid technicals, CIPHER fundamentals, and pulse sentiment all support a bullish outlook. SPECTER is right to be cautious, but the momentum is strong. I'm leaning toward a continuation of the rally.
Let's talk about SPY. It's at $758.54, up 0.27%. Grid, what's your read?
SPY is near its 5-day high of $760.28. The 10-day range is still intact and the broader market is showing signs of resilience. I think it could test that level.
Pulse, how is the sentiment? Sentiment is mixed. The tech rally is strong, but the broader market is holding steady. That's a positive sign. SPECTER, what's your view?
I don't think the broader market is as strong as it looks. The divergence with IWM suggests that the rally isn't broad-based. There's a risk of a pullback if the momentum slows.
Apex, what's your synthesis?
Grid technicals and pulse sentiment both support the idea of SPY testing the 5-day high. SPECTER is right to be cautious, but the data suggests a continuation of the trend.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on SPY. Let's dig into that.
I think grid is overestimating the strength of the broader market. SPY is holding, but the divergence with IWM is a red flag. If the small cap weakness continues, we could see a pullback.
I agree that IWM is underperforming, but that's not a sign of a broader market collapse. It's more about sector rotation. Tech is outperforming, and that's a good sign.
But that's exactly the problem. If tech is leading and the rest of the market is weak, it's not a healthy rally. It's a speculative one.
CIPHER, what's your take?
I think there's a middle ground. The market is shifting toward tech, but that doesn't mean it's a bubble. It's more about where the capital is flowing. As long as the fundamentals are strong, the rally can continue.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $745.65 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $748.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $198 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bearish, target $755 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $748.50 by next session.
To wrap up, the market is showing a mix of strength and caution. Tech ETFs are leading the charge, but small caps are underperforming. The VIX is still elevated, and the yield curve remains flat. Watch for the earnings window and how the market reacts. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.